Hello Virgo, well we got ourselves a nice day here. It's a full moon day actually and a lunar eclipse day as well as I'm doing this. So a great time to do a 5 card tarot spread for the sign of Virgo, which we'll have in this video. Tarot in Wonderland, my deck of choice here. People seem to like it, so I'll have a shuffle and see what comes out first. A general reading, I think, could be different things to different people. And what's going to be our first card? Okay, it's the Ace of Cups. Here we are now. This is a lovely card to be starting out a reading with. It's a great place to start a journey, actually, and it suggests, Virgo, that things are going to be going forward. Now then, when we get this cup, we are reminded about love in so many different ways, and love is a very multifaceted thing, isn't it? We're looking at divine love, which is actually present in the cup there, and look at that great big waterfall in the background showing there's no end to it, and there's a cleansing feeling as well with all that water. Lovely pink clouds in the sky, so a higher heart chakra pink there indicated. So where's it going? Well, we'll find out as we go forward, but first of all, let's think about this card in a bit more depth. You see, to really have a good experience of love, we have to be able to love ourselves. That is really, really important. That's perhaps the main thing in getting into a good situation in terms of relationships or actually anywhere in life. Because if we don't love ourselves, we're not going to look after ourselves well enough, and we're not going to make choices that actually involve looking after ourselves. And we should look after ourselves, we really should, because that's what the angels are all about. That's what divine love is all about, and that's what the universe is up to, because we actually are all one. And so if we don't love ourselves as much as other people love themselves, then somehow we're missing out on something. We've got every right to love ourselves. You could say warts and all, but let's not think too much about the warts. I don't think there's a lot of point in that. Lots of alchemy in that card as well, because there's the cup of divine love coming out, and there's the sort of cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever that very ordinary worldly looking cup is. And let me take a closer look at the symbols on it. Well, they're sort of floral symbols, so something's coming into flower here. Something is on its way to reaching its conclusion. And all of life is about that, of course, isn't it? But it's the beginning of a journey, so we do need to think about, where is that journey taking us? And we might be some way from actually finding the fulfillment we're after, but the great news is we are actually on our way to it. So that's a fantastic way to start. Ace of Cups for Virgo in this reading, which I'm doing January 2020. Best time to watch it is right now, whenever that is, whenever you've found it. There are hundreds, getting on for 600 readings on my channel now. It's building up all the time as I keep on doing more and more, because I do enjoy doing them. So what is the second card in this spread for Virgo? And it's Temperance. And this is actually another very positive card. In so many ways, they're all positive, really. I mean, some of them tell us about things that look negative, but there are negatives in life. It's a fact of life that there are positives and negatives. And the positives wouldn't be such a happy thing by a long way if we didn't go through negativity from time to time. So if that's particularly, that goes nicely with the Ace of Cups, actually, because in loving ourselves, we've got to accept that the things that have been good go with the things that have been not so good. I don't know if there's any such thing as bad, really, but, bad is certainly something we experience from time to time. But look, nothing's bothering Alice here. She's in a state of great poise. And there's a lot of magic going on. We've got the psilocybin mushrooms all around. Are they? No, they're fly agaric mushrooms. I'm not too well up on these things, believe me, but I'm learning. And she's out in nature, so it's the magic of nature all around her. And even if you're not able to actually get out into nature as much as you'd like to, Virgo, this card is very positive for you. It's Sagittarian energy because it's the Temperance card. That's what this one goes with in the major arcana. So there's some Sagittarian feelings for you. If you're looking towards a relationship, this is a Sagittarius coming into your life, and probably making a lot of sense to you, I would think. Maybe not making a lot of sense right this minute. Maybe they are. Who knows? But, different strokes for different folks. But certainly the Sagittarius and the Sagittarian energy are going to be making a difference in your life in a positive way. So there's a great sense of balance with this card. That really is what temperance is all about. It's a word that's used as a name for people who don't drink or smoke or kind of do the whole goody two shoes thing, and never really never really portrayed as enjoying ourselves when temperance comes into it. But it is actually, that's just the old stiff meaning of it. Really, temperance is a state of balance. It's a state of elegance, and there's some sort of poise here. So we're looking at refinement, really. And as we move on from that first card there, the Ace of Cups, and we're aware of the love that we have for ourselves and the love that's always being shown to us by God, by the angels, by the universe, whichever way you want to look at it, then, we are just really needing to kind of take that energy in, because it's very, very powerful energy, and find a sense of balance within ourselves and just have that poise, because well, why not? Life is always going to flow more smoothly if we have a smoother view of ourselves, and if we try to live life in a smooth flowing kind of a way. We pray for smooth flowing abundance coming in, that kind of thing. And we pray not always for an easy journey. I realise, we all understand that the spiritual life isn't just a dead easy thing. But the less sort of ragged round the edges we can actually make our part of it, the more elegance, the more poise we have, then the more success we are likely to draw in. So Sagittarius energy there, and it's number 14, the Temperance card. So what is next, I wonder? Let's have a shuffle again. I really enjoy working with this deck, actually, Tarot in Wonderland. It's based on the Alice in Wonderland stories, obviously. And if you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you'll know all about that side of it. Okay, so now we'll come to the middle card in this 5-card spread for the sign of Virgo and say, what have we got? Because this is going to be the heart of the matter. Okay, oh, right. It's number 13, lucky for some, and it's the Death card. You sort of have a choice, really. You can either decide that 13 is lucky for you or it's not lucky for you. And I like to see it as being lucky for me, because I don't know of any numbers that are actually unlucky for me. But it's 13. In terms of numerology, it's moving forward. It's actually getting things to happen. Now, it's Scorpio energy that comes in with this card as well. That is a very much sort of seeing things in black and white kind of an energy here. And although death, it feels like a bad thing, it feels like a scary thing, we are actually looking at change more than anything else. And life itself is change. So that is where kind of life and death work together in balance. And Alice is doing a brave thing in this card. She is blowing the candle out, so she's closing the door on the past. And already in the background, we can see that beautiful blue light of truth. It's a turquoisey kind of light that is shining in the background, which is actually coming forward to her at this time. But to make the most of it and to actually carry on with the journey, she does need to blow that candle out. So Virgo, do you need to blow that candle out somewhere? And maybe with the Scorpion energy, Virgo, are you seeing, excuse me, are you seeing things as just like much more cut and dry than things can naturally be? I mean, if someone's given you a hard time, or if you've given yourself a hard time, you maybe feel that you've done something bad, or something bad has been done to you. And we'll think back to the Temperance card for a moment, because actually that balance is a fact of life. And it does mean good things and not so good things going together. So as you blow the candle out, Virgo, be willing to shut that door firmly behind you so that only good can come in. And of course it'll be natural good, it'll be life being changed, as it always is. But it will be forward motion, and that's what matters more than anything else. Okay, so there we go. I wonder what's coming next then, because, excuse me, because we've moved on from that whole concept of... well, just death, I mean, any of us who follow the tarot know that it's death of the old self, death of the old ways, and a rebirth of the new. So it is very positive. But at that time, when that actually comes into your life and happens to you, Virgo, it is going to be a question of wondering what comes next. I'm sure it is. It's only natural, and it's bound to be that way a bit. So we'll keep on shuffling and see what comes in next for you guys, Virgo. And we have 6 of Wands here. Right, so one's energy, it's fire sign energy, fiery energy. It's Leo, Sagittarius again, and Aries. Now that's twice that Sagittarius has come up in this reading. So maybe if this is a love reading for you, maybe it's going to be a Sagittarius. Or maybe it's going to be that fiery kind of Saggy energy that wants to get things done, wants to make things happen, but sometimes goes a little bit too far, or more importantly, sometimes thinks it's gone a little bit too far and makes us want to spring back. Who knows? Well, Six of Wands, it's a powerful energy again, because it's Wands energy. It's about getting things done. And in terms of numerology, we are well into the journey by the time we come to number 6. But this character at the front who's holding aloft the great wand there has had a great victory. But he has to remember that all the characters behind him, which is just about all the other characters in the deck actually, have actually been part of his world and have been part of what's made things happen in a victorious way for him. Beautiful blue sky behind him again, and we see some of the lapis lazuli shades up in the top of that card. So there's an invitation here to look towards the divine, to look towards what's spiritual, and to think about that connection we actually have to the spirit realms, because we achieve nothing in a complete vacuum, you know, and so we've got to remember the people around us, but also the spiritual assistance that comes in. And if you're feeling that, you know, there hasn't been that much help coming in from the spirit world or the universe or God or the angels or however you want to see it, then stop and think, because that is always good energy. And as I was saying with the Ace of Cups, you know, we are all one, and there's nobody who deserves that energy more or less than anybody else. So think about it. There must have been that divine energy, that divine love coming into life somewhere. Where did it fit in? Where's it actually taking you? And have you even been aware of it? Maybe do some meditation, Virgo. Maybe think about that a little bit more deeply and decide sort of how far you want to go at this stage of the journey, because really it's good if we decide that the sky is going to be the limit and that we are actually on a journey to something positive, because that is actually the truth. You know, all our human journeys are taking us somewhere positive in the end, no doubt about it. But there's an invitation to think about the spirit realms, the divine, the angels, whichever way you want to see it. And there's certainly an invitation to get out into nature here, which echoes what we saw in the Temperance card rather a lot. To have that real elegance, to have that poise, and to actually know who we are. We've got to realise that we are part of a world involving other people and other energies, and that we are being supported by other people and by other energies. And people are a classic thing really with this. People can seem anything but supportive, but the lessons we learn from people who are just not being supportive are very powerful lessons. And so they are a positive thing in the end, you know. Nothing is all bad. And it's also true to say that nothing is all good, Virgo. I've got to admit that, you know, fact of life. But progress is always happening every day, you know. We get one day older every single day of the week, of the month, of the year, of our whole lives. We get that bit older, so we've learned a bit more. Even if we've had a day when we haven't done much, we have actually learned something from being alive today or any day that we're alive. And so if we decide we're not getting anywhere, I think we're making a mistake there. We may be getting nowhere fast, and that is certainly something to think about. But not something to dwell on, not something to be really upset about, because the journey is always unfolding and it's always going on. So we'll come to the last card, the final card, the outcome card in this 5-card spread for Virgo. And I'm doing this on full moon day, 10th of January, but subscribe to my channel, tap the bell to get all notifications, and then check out my videos. There are many of them indeed, and it doesn't really matter if you're not watching this one exactly on the day. The fact is they're there for you, and in so many ways they're there for me. I go back and look at them sometimes and inspire myself a bit if I can. So what have we got as an outcome card in this reading for the sign of Virgo? And it's 8 of Pentacles. So now then, this card traditionally, and very much as we see it here, is all about the fruits of labours, the fruits of the hard work that we've put into life. Now, was it? Yes, he is actually the king there. Sorry, I'm just not sure what I'm looking at sometimes, because it kind of reflects strangely in the screen. He's trying very hard to draw a pentacle, and he's using a massive pencil, which shows that there's plenty of energy behind this. but it's rather too much energy. It's rather too much for him to do it easily, and yet he's persevering. And here we have a thing. Now, this is an internet reading, of course, and lots of people are very cynical about readings on the internet. Falsely so, I think, actually. We really are plugged into the divine and the universe when we work on the internet here, because the internet is really the sum of all human life going on, or nearly all human life anyway. Because it is actually people that make the internet the way it is. All the robotics, all the artificial intelligence and everything that people criticise about the internet is actually driven by people and what people want. And of course there's a plus side to that, and of course there's a minus side to that. But the internet would not be what it was without natural human energy playing into it. So there's hard work going on here, and as we look at the curtain, I suppose, on the wall behind the king, all those other pentacle pictures are actually glued to it or stuck to it in some way anyway. And so there has been a lot of work going on, and it hasn't been easy work, you know, but things have really happened. There's a workflow to it. There is positivity in it in a huge way, because with the Eight of Pentacles, we're really getting close to completion. Not all the way to the Ten of Completion, that's certainly true, but this is the rewards of hard work. That's what this card is all about, and that's what the king is getting into here. No doubt he needs some more help, because there is some more of a journey to make, but this is looking really positive. So do be trying to put the work in as far as you possibly can, Virgo, as you go forward. So just going back to the beginning again, I think this is a really, really important card. It's the first card in the reading, so it's bound to be, isn't it? But Ace of Cups there. Just remember, we are all the product of divine love, and we are all going to be sustained by divine love, and we're going to be that much better sustained by it if we can love ourselves. And we should love ourselves, because no matter how we feel today, this is what's coming to all of us, actually, not just for Virgo, but is certainly an important indication for you guys, Virgo, as you're watching this reading. The fruits of hard work, and they will come, you know, if you keep on working hard. They certainly will come, no doubt about it. So there we go. Well, thanks very much for watching. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell to receive all notifications. Do leave me a comment, guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll share the journey. I always enjoy doing that. Share me around the internet if you possibly can. Help me get the word out. I hope I'll be here with some live appearances soon. I'm working on that. I can't do them from this setup at the moment because it's a mobile device. But I've got an old laptop that won't do it, and a friend who thinks he can make it do it. So I'm going to try very hard very soon. Meanwhile, you know, check out the other videos, and I'll see you again very soon. Have a fantastic month of January. Have a fantastic life ahead, and catch you next time, Virgo. Peace.